Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn about graphs and we'll see how to represent motion graphically. So a graph represents the relation between two variable quantities in pictorial form. Variable means which is not constant, which changes. That is called a variable. And graphs are the best tools to represent the motion of a body. So this is one of the pictorial form of graph. The horizontal line is called the x-axis, the vertical line is called the y-axis, and where these two axes join, that point is called origin. And on the x-axis we always represent independent variable and dependent variable is represented along y-axis. And to describe the motion of an object, we use line graph. Now let us start with distance time graph. Distance time graph represents the change in the position of the body with respect to time. In this graph, time is taken along the x-axis and distance is taken along the y-axis. Now the first case is distance time graph for an object at rest. Rest means the position of the body does not change with time. So from the graph it is clear that the position is same, the distance is same, that is 4 meter at all instants of time. So we concluded that the distance time graph for an object at rest is a straight line parallel to the time axis. The next one is distance time graph for uniform motion. And for uniform motion, the graph comes out to be a straight line passing through the origin, and it is also used to calculate the speed of the body. And from the graph it is very much clear that the body is moving with a uniform speed of 20 meter per second. The next is distance time graph for non-uniform motion. Now in case of non-uniform motion there are two cases. The first one is when the speed of the body increases with time, like when a train leaves the platform, its speed gradually increases and the distance time graph comes out to be a curve with increasing slope. And the other case is when the speed of the body decreases with time, like when a train approaches the platform. So you have seen this. When the train is about to reach the platform, its speed gradually decreases, and in this case the distance time graph comes out to be a curve with decreasing slope like this. So from here we concluded that distance time graph for non-uniform motion is curve having increasing or decreasing slope. So these are the three distance time graphs which we have just studied. The next are the velocity time graph. Velocity time graph shows how the velocity of the body changes with the passage of time. And to draw the velocity time graph, velocity is taken along the y-axis and the time is taken along the x-axis. So in this case, the first one is velocity time graph for a body moving with constant velocity, means the velocity is not changing. In this case, the graph comes out to be a straight line parallel to the time axis and it is used to calculate the displacement of the body. So the area under the velocity time graph, is equal to the displacement of the body. The next is velocity time graph for uniform motion. The velocity time graph for uniform motion is a straight line passing through the origin and is used to calculate both acceleration and displacement of the body. Now the next is velocity time graph when the velocity of the body decreases to 0. So in this case the velocity time graph comes out to be a straight line but with negative slope. Negative slope means in the downward direction. And this graph shows the object is undergoing retardation. Retardation means its velocity is decreasing. Now the last one is velocity time graph of non-uniform velocity of an object. So for non-uniform velocity of an object, velocity time graphs can have any shape. This graph shows the velocity of object is first increasing, then decreasing, again increasing, and then decreasing. So these are all the velocity time graphs which we have done, and this is your homework, that you have to infer from these given graphs that which graph represents which motion. So this is your homework. So you have to write down that which particular graph represent what kind of motion.